The What It Takes Radio Company presents another radio adventure. And today, here we go. The book says that Joe Biden committed an original sin. That's what the journalist said. Well, the question is, have you? Have you ever committed an original sin? Well, let's introduce you to a new idea. Welcome once again. And again, what if everything you thought you knew was wrong? That's the name of our new presentation series. It's going to be a variety of things from what we call sometimes interesting ideas or inconvenient ideas now, or perhaps the curiosity zone. It's for people who are curious. But primarily, we're putting this around us just to simply say it's a good place for a state of mind. That we are very sure that there are unique and powerful truths in the world, that there are things that we perhaps can know for sure. But for the most part, it's a very good possibility that some of the things, maybe lots of the things, and in some cases, maybe most of the things that we thought we knew uh, turned out to be wrong. Well, if that's our state of mind, hopefully it will help us grow, keep us curious, keep us open, uh, perhaps keep us more alive, more fully alive, less demented. We think there's a whole lot of advantage in actually looking uh, at that big black and red sign, which I have in my studio. What if everything you thought you knew was wrong? And so from time to time, that'll be the background for this presentation. And today, with all of the news going around, what we thought we knew, perhaps about how the government was working in the United States, or what a lot of people believed, it seems that maybe everything we thought we knew was wrong. And one of the big best-selling books right now is where I got the title for this presentation. Um, yes, what is your original sin? Now, the big selling book is called Original Sin. And it's written by two journalists who have gotten together. And what they have discovered is that there was a great deal of going on in the Biden campaign and in the Biden presidency that people just were not made aware of. And that's why everything fell apart. And that's why Joe Biden no longer ran for the presidency. He quit in the middle of it. And he and the other colleagues got Kamala Harris. And she didn't seem to be able to make it enough. And so Donald Trump became president. And everything is still a bit confusing. And every day, something new is seemingly coming out about that situation. So I wanted to just take a few minutes for us to do a little, self-examination. Here we go. Now, the term original sin is a theological term, and some people believe in it, some people don't. And the idea is that in the history of mankind, both spiritually and intellectually and morally, there was the first sin. We disobeyed our Creator God. The proverbial eating of the apple. And then everything breaks, everything collapses, and we live in the consequences of original sin. And that's still a very controversial subject, but it's also a matter of understanding in terms of why we are in the mess we're in. Now, what the commentators did, and I will not even use their names because I don't want to give them any more publicity. And in fact, it's kind of sad that people who were kind of involved in the whole cover up are now making millions of dollars saying, oh, we're sorry, we did that. I would say that the original sin was not as they say. The original sin was that Joseph Biden didn't keep his word. He made the decision, along with perhaps his wife and his son and a few others, that and then with the support of many others, that he was going to run again. Even though it appeared that at the age of 82, that would mean he'd be about 86, 87 by the time he was done. And it did appear that there were some physical and perhaps mental or awareness issues, but he was going to do it. And that's where it all fell apart when it was discovered in that classic debate where it just was quite obvious that Joseph Biden was not physically and emotionally and perhaps mentally able to handle the job of being the most powerful and man in the world, one of them at least. So that's where the book is. And now, of course, that is the conversation that's going on. I would say the original sin goes back further than that. It goes back to the choice of him right then. That may have been. And then the fact that the people who knew what was happening didn't say anything about it, didn't bring it forward, in fact, perhaps covered up the situation. That was a previous sin before the original sin, according to the commentators, when he made the decision to run again. So that will be the argument. And we'll see where that goes and what the consequences are. I would just simply ask us to, as I oftentimes say, well, take the news personally. I look at myself and I say, what are some of the original faults and failings, bad judgment, perhaps bad treatment of others, a way of doing something that could certainly be, as I confess every week when I go to church, forgive me my sins, those that I've committed and those that I have, just been a party to, just by commission and omission. So please forgive me. And as my daughter one time, as she had gone through life, realized that perhaps that was a good thing. She said, sometimes it's good for us to just admit that we've, and then she used some nasty words. That's what we've been and that's what we've done. And it's good for us to say, hey, we're sorry, forgive us. And there is a church that is very popular in the respect of its message, which bothers a lot of people, which says is, you've been forgiven, so enjoy your forgiveness. Well, there are a lot of people who say, I don't need any forgiveness. I'm just fine. I'm not perfect, but I'm close. May I just suggest that as we're looking forward to how we will, the world is going to change massively through the AI, through the transformational, transitional situations that are taking place, that things are going to change profoundly, both in our understanding and perhaps in our capability and maybe our responsibility, and perhaps even in the fact that we could do some very, very bad and dangerous things with the powers that we have. But going back, what is it that could be some of the original sins that I've done, where I've made some significant mistakes, and not to hold myself at fault or failure or any kind of futility about my forgiveness, but just to say, what can I learn? What can I relearn? How can I be stronger and braver and bolder because I have come out of a fraud and phoniness and failure and the sins of omission and commission? Um, how can I be all of those good things? How can I be kinder, gentler, more forgiving of others, and perhaps more aware of how I could be helpful and useful and practical in my life and business? Because I've dealt with the fact, you know, uh, there are some original and ongoing things that I still might do and still might be aware of. And to simply make a way of starting each day by saying, forgive me, forgive me. And being able perhaps to say, I'm sorry, forgive me. And make it a point of forgiving others and perhaps blessing others. No, the guys who wrote the book Original Sin got it wrong. There was something else that was the original sin, and that's for history and perhaps you in your own personal judgment to decide what it was or what it is, or perhaps what's going to happen because of it. But it's a good point to look at what is happening and to say, as I often say, ah, what can I learn personally from what is going on in the world? What can I learn to do things that do make me better, braver, bolder, stronger, kinder, more loving, gentle, and more successful, more fruitful, maybe even more profitable? Thank you for your time today. I wish you all the best as we are into June already for 2025. And there's a lot of good things we need to do this summer to make sure that the rest of the year is truly in 25. We not only survive, we really do thrive. Let's see if we can make that much more of a reality starting now. All the best and blessings to you. Reach out to me because I can help you in a variety of ways with your business issues, both in terms of marketing you. We'll be talking about that, making an impact. The business that you are in needs to be improved, whatever it is. And it can be improved. Maybe it can be even transformed. Maybe that's what it has to be, because a lot of the things you thought you knew were wrong. And transformation comes when we give things up. We admit that things are not working, and we seek new and better ways to be new and better people with new and better businesses. Stan at witradio.net, Stan at witradio.net, and let us know how we can help you. All the best to you. Till next time, bye for now.